Hey gang, today we're coming at you. We're coming at you. I'm one person. I'm coming at you with a affordable drugstore everyday makeup look. And when I say everyday, I mean like my everyday. Might not be your everyday. You might not come out the house wearing foundation, concealer, bronzer, gloss, mascara, brows every day, but I do, and I'm fine with that, and that's on period. Okay, so first thing first, we're gonna do some skin prep. Let me just bring you a little bit closer to the skin. Okay, and then for a primer, I'm gonna be, to be honest, I know this is a good primer. I like this primer, I do, but I don't use this primer too often. As you can see, it's pretty much gone. I have about 3 more pumps. I really like this Milk Hydro Grip primer, but like I said, this is an affordable drugstore, and you can't find that in a drugstore, and that's like $32. So we're gonna do this Angel Veil from NYX, and this one is the Skin Protecting Primer. I want to say, I'm not sure if it's oil control, but I know it does really help with oil control. Like I said, I do have combination skin, but where it gets really oily is here. Super oily here, sometimes on the forehead, but really oily here in the creases of my nose. So that's where I like to focus it at. I don't feel like I have to prime my entire face, but I do like to press it into the skin where I need it the most. The crucial part of my routine is setting spray. I love setting spray. I'm gonna be using 2 setting sprays. Both is from Morphe. You can find both online, or you can find both in Ulta. And I want to say it's $16. I may be wrong. No, it's $16. So you can find both. This one is the illuminating, what is that? Foundation. Okay, this one is the illuminating setting spray. And then I have this one, the OG, the original, the continuous setting spray. So I like to set just my skin. I do prep, set just my skin. So I like to set. Okay, I'm gonna give my skin at least 5 minutes. You can let it sit on for like 3, but I'm gonna let my skin sit, and then we'll get back in. Okay, so now that my skin have set, we happy, we're blended family, everything's set, and I'm going to use the OG drugstore. This is the OG drugstore foundation. I don't care what anyone says. I'm in the color 335 Classic Tan. I'm using the matte. I used Dewy in the summer, but right now in the winter I'm using the matte, and this is for this is for normal to oily skin. And like I said, I'm combination, so this one works really good for me. I don't take much. I had put too much, so I had to scrape some off, but we don't waste nothing around here. We use everything. And to blend this in, I'm actually gonna use 2 items for each side of my face. I can give you guys some options because we love variety. And I'm using this sponge. It's super soft. I got this from Beauty Bakery. I really love this sponge. And then I also have this Morphe brush. It's really dense, but it's super soft. I really love this brush. I recommend this brush for foundation. So for one side, we're gonna just dip in the sponge. And just press it in. I remember when I seen people using brushes, I was like, no, like that's not for me. I didn't like sponges. I mean, I didn't like brushes. I was an OG sponge girl. Nothing gonna replace the sponge. But I've really started to use brushes. Like I don't know what changed my mind, but I really started to like brushes. I don't know if I like brushes or if it's just this specific Morphe brush that I really like. But I 100% recommend it. Now Morphe, if you want to sponsor me, your girl is ready for the sponsorship. So now I'm just finessing the skin. Now I don't really feel like I need more, but it's more on my hand, and I told you we don't waste around here. Even if it's drugstore, even if it's cheap, even if it's affordable, we save coins, honey. Okay, so my next step is to conceal, and as you can see, when you had in it, it's very obvious. I have combination what am I saying? I have deep set eyes, which means my eyes is sucking in, which is why I have these little sunken in bags right there. And I also have dark circles, so concealer is a must for me. And I'm using this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. I am in the shade of Golden. 9 times out of 10, I'm in like in brands, I'm in a honey or something. It might say warm honey or golden. Those are the shades that I really look for the most when I'm looking for shades. So I used to try and go the whole Instagram thing. Now I pop it here and a smidget here, and then I'll tell you why we like to do it that way. And then if I need more, I'll add more. Depending on my day and my mood, I guess my mood is this mood on a Monday night going nowhere is to conceal the whole face. But sometimes I don't do it. Depending on how I feel, I'll just pop it under my eyes. My eyes is the most important part. So we let this dry down. And we let it dry down because the longer it sits, the more potent the concealer gets, and the more coverage you'll have. It'll be harder to blend, so if you're a beginner, I do not recommend letting it sit too long, because the longer it sits, the harder it is to blend. But the pro is that you'll get more coverage. So we're gonna let this sit, and then I'll come back and we'll blend it out. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and this concealer dries down pretty fast, so you don't want to let it sit longer than that, else it ain't gonna move. Whether you're expert or not, it ain't moving nowhere. So we're gonna go ahead and blend it. I like to start on the forehead and the nose, and I save the under eye for last. Okay, the reason why I put it going up here is because the lower you put it, the more dragged down your eyes is gonna look. The higher you put it, the more lifted your eyes is gonna look. And I don't know what mood you be in, but I don't want no sunken eyes, no dragged down eyes. So we blend it upwards to lift up the eye. And then I blend it down the sides of my nose. Now, if you feel like you didn't have enough coverage, if you feel like that foundation that you used didn't provide enough coverage, or if you just want to add some more, you can always go back and add more. I do still see darkness peeking out, but it's not a big deal for me. Like, I'm fine with what I see. So I'm gonna leave mine like that. I'm not gonna add more, but this is when you would add more, before you set it. Please add more before you set it. So myself. Okay, so to set the face, I will be using this Beauty Bakery flour powder. This is their setting spot powder in cassava yellow. I'm gonna use this one for my under eyes, and for the rest of my face, we're going back in with Maybelline Fit Me, and this is in light medium, and I'm gonna set everything else. This is their loose finishing powder. Since this is a beginner's tutorial, now I don't really like to bake anymore. If you prefer to bake, that's you. That's your prerogative. But I don't like to bake. I don't like that powdery cakey look that bacon can give you. I'm not saying everybody who bakes gets that cakey look. I'm saying it can give you that cakey look, a really powdery look as well. So I put it on and I just press it in and just keep pressing it in. I don't do a wipe off, I just press it in. Everywhere that your concealer went, your light powder goes, or your translucent powder, whatever kind of powder you want to use, except for like a colored powder, like a deeper tone powder. And then we have the rest of the powder, and for that one I'm going to use a brush. Tap it. You don't want to use too much. Tap it, and then you just circle it. Bronze or a contour, I'm going to be using this Makeup Revolution. This is the Mega Bronzer in the color 02 Warm. I'm just going to use that same brush I used to powder my face. And right here, I'm going to put it right in that chisel. And you want to use a light hand, you want to go in circular motions. You don't have to be so aggressive. I'm looking down because my mirror is right here. Okay. You also want to tap it too. I just use the top and just tap it. You don't want to put too much down. You can always add more, but it's really hard to take away. So just let it build up if you want more. Don't go too crazy in the beginning. Even if you don't see it, just blend that out and then add more. Okay, I don't stop there. I also go in with this one, but it's also the Makeup Revolution. I use a lot of Makeup Revolution stuff and a lot of Maybelline stuff. So this one is their Bronzer Reloaded in the color Long Weekend. I like this one because I don't use highlight anymore. I'm not really a big highlighter person. I used to be a huge highlighter. The brighter the better. But now, 2021, I'm not a huge highlighter person. But this does have shimmer in there, so this is why I like to use this. It adds more of like that sun-kissed look, because it's wintertime and we ain't getting no sun-kissed look without it. Not where I live, not. So I go right across the nose, just like that. Everywhere I put that first one, I go in the same spots, but this time I don't have to be as precise. I can be a bit messy with it if I want. Now, and I forgot to do my nose. I'm gonna go in with that first one, this one, and I'm using this Morphe brush. I don't know which number it is. It doesn't come with the number, but I know I got it in a set from Ulta, and I think it came with like 10 brushes, and it was pretty cheap. It was a good price for $10. I mean, for 10 brushes. So if you didn't see, I tapped it, and then we're going to go down the nose. Okay. Now for blush. I do love blush, and I didn't used to like it. I thought blush kind of like aged you a bit, but I love blush. I don't have the blush that I want to use on hand right now, and let's be real, I'm not going to go get it, so I'm going to use this one. It's a little more pinky than I will like it. I got it from Walmart. It's called City Color. I've never heard of this brand before, but I'm using this shade, and it's in the color Blossom, and I just stipple it in. Top it off, because that was a big stipple. And then okay, so before we move on, I'm going to set again, but this time I'm going to be using, since we used a matte foundation, I want to use a luminous setting spray. Basically means dewy, so it kind of like balances out. I won't be looking too mattified, but I also won't be looking too glossy, too dewy, because I do get shiny throughout the day. So you're just going to shake it up a bit. Because the more months you use the product, the more you're saving your coins. So I'm just taking this Real Technique brush, number 402, and I already put some product on there. Can't really see it, but it's 402. And I just sweep it across the lid. I don't do much, like on my everyday looks, I don't do much on the eyes. Sometimes I don't even do anything on the eyes. I just go like that. Yeah, that's perfectly fine for me. Like, that's good enough. I don't be extra with the lid. Heck, I'm using bronzer for an eyeshadow, so you know I won't be extra on my everyday looks. Okay. I also like to do my lower lash line. I'm gonna use my mirror for this one. Okay. Now when I do my everyday looks, because of my eye shape, I have hooded eyes, and lashes, false lashes tend to make my eyes look, they close my eyes more, make my eyes look heavier. So because of that, I try to stick with just mascara. So for every day, I just do mascara. But if I'm going out, I would put on false lashes. Oh, I'm using the Lash Paradise, Voluminous Lash Paradise by, you guessed it, Maybelline. Yeah, by Maybelline. This is waterproof. Wow, was my mirror blocking me this entire time? I'm a terrible YouTuber. Like, I need to do better. I'm gonna zoom you all in a little bit more so you can see. And I'm gonna try to use the camera. And for the bottoms, I feel like this wand is a little too thick for me to really get to the bottoms. So for my bottoms, I'm using this one by L'Oreal Paris. This one is it's just called Unlimited Mascara. This one is also waterproof. I don't know why I always buy waterproof. I don't know. So I'm just gonna that's also why I like this wand for my bottom lashes, is because I can bend it and I can get a little bit closer. I feel like I have a little bit more control holding it this way for my bottoms. And I don't know what it is about me, but I don't play about my bottom lashes. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love a good bottom lash. Come through, Lash. Yes, L'Oreal. You got her ready. Singing right now. So, all right. I had no business going that crazy with the setting spray. I had no need to use that much. That was just excessive. I was doing way too much. But this is the completed look. Okay, if you like it and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those fun things, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.